Hey you guys, today we're gonna go over how to make some very delicious vegan lasagna! This is Jen from Epic, Empower People, Empower Change, where we give you amazing tips on plant-based healthy living as well as money tips, because I know you got some money and you need some help. Today we are gonna talk about how I make lasagna in this house. Now, I do make a couple different renditions of it, but this is probably one of my kids' more favorite ones, and it's very delicious, very filling. So let me go over some of the ingredients for you. All right, here's a controversial Beyond Meat, okay? Now listen here, Linda, all right? We don't eat it every week. We don't eat it every day. I always say just eat things in moderation. Don't overdo it. Make sure you're going to your doctor, getting your blood work done. We do. Our blood work has still been in optimal levels, so we're gonna continue eating that in moderation and not all the time. I know it's controversial. There's tons of other vegan meats that you can substitute this for, okay? Other ingredients, I have peppers, bell peppers, onion. I have just some tomato sauce for the lasagna. I have some fresh garlic. All right, of course, gotta have some lasagna noodles. Yes, I'm making a pretty big size pan. You see this up close, so I'm using a lot of noodles in this, right? From just my seasonings, you know, I don't measure. You just gotta watch me do this, okay? And I'll just put some measurements down below, but really it's gonna be to taste. I have some Italian seasoning. I have some garlic powder, onion powder, staples in the house. Also staples is parsley. I have some sea salt. Now, let me separate all of this other good stuff with something that's really important. Now, I do have some already vegan cheeses here, okay? So this is one of my favorite that we use it's called Mayocos Mas. Hopefully, I don't know if you can see that. I don't know. Mayocos Mas. This is one of my favorite vegan mozzarella cheeses. The ingredients is seriously like organic cashew milk, organic coconut oil, organic tapioca starch, sea salt, organic agar, mushroom extract, organic konjac, and cultures. Some already like cheese I have is Parmesan plant-based. Again, this is one of my favorite it's this 365 plant-based Parmesan. I like it a lot. And then I'll probably use a little bit of this Viola mozzarella shreds. All of these are vegan, all right? So why are there cashews and nutritional yeast sitting up here and apple cider vinegar and some Himalayan sea salt? I'm gonna show you how I make vegan ricotta cheese. Pretty simple to make, so I'm gonna show you how to do that, okay? But of course you need ricotta cheese for your lasagna. So I'm gonna tell you right now, I just find it easy to make versus trying to find it out there. I don't even know if it's out there, okay? So I'm gonna show you how to make that, and I hope you enjoy. So I'm just gonna go ahead and chop up some ingredients and I'll be back. All right, you guys, so what I did while I was on my little break was just chop up all my veggies, okay? So I have my bell peppers, green and red, I have garlic, and I have some onions. Now it's time to go ahead and cook our meat and cook our pasta noodles. Lasagna is pretty easy to make. So as you saw, I made the vegetables already. So this is the easy part. Lasagna is pretty much all cooked when you're just putting it together. I'm using some olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, to cook the meat in and saute the vegetables a little bit. Now you honestly don't even need all these vegetables, okay? I just like extra nutrition in our food. So I'm gonna go ahead and saute my garlic and onions a little bit first. One thing I do not like is overcooked vegetables. So I'm gonna go ahead and saute these onions first, and then I'll put the bell peppers, the green and red bell peppers in here. Again, if you want to do this really fast, you don't even need to chop up stuff. All right. I just prefer it. And of course, this is what's gonna go in your lasagna. We're gonna fast forward to this. All right, so now I'm gonna add all my vegetables, my green and red peppers. Have that saute a little bit. Now remember, even if you cook too much of it, you can just save it for some pasta. I mean, throw over some pasta later. That's what I do. I'll freeze the sauce, my meat sauce, and I'll just use it later after I've cooked it. Quick, easy, reheat meal for your family. All right, so we had our little spill conversation about Beyond Meat. Don't eat it often, eat in moderation, just like you should do everything else except for vegetables and fruit. Unless it's too much fruit, then it's a problem. All right, so all I'm gonna do at this time is I'm going to put this in here. And I know y'all probably see this date. This was in the freezer. So we're good. I'm not eating toxic meat, I promise. or veggie meat, I should say. All right, that's one. And people might ask, oh, how does Beyond Meat taste? I think it's one of the better versions. Some people do not like it at all, and I totally respect that. To each his own. You can find your own version of what you like. I honestly, my family, we like it. It too about how you season it. You can't just eat it just like you wouldn't eat some beef right out of the package. You would season it as well. So I just say season it well, and it could taste very good. And I'll show you, of course, what I put in it. I already gave you a hint of that before. So this is a very important tip, unlike regular beef, okay? If you're just now trying this stuff, you don't have to drain veggie meats. They actually come out pretty fine, all right? They're fine. Now, while I'm cooking this, I actually have my, on this side, I have my water boiling for my noodles, because I'm gonna put that on as well while I'm cooking this. So you see the color? Some people like to eat it with this light color. I'm not about that life. I like a darker color. Maybe it's because of all those years I did eat meat. I like to have a little bit of color, okay? Have Italian seasoning. Put that in there. I find that it doesn't need that much salt. I have garlic powder. Onion powder. Yes, we put onion powder already in it, but we're gonna put more in it. It's all about the seasonings. All about the seasonings. All right, I'm gonna throw some extra parsley in there. And a little bit of sea salt, all right? And stir all that in. We're still going here. You just want to keep it stirred. Chop up the pieces in here. You want it, of course, small, just like you would for regular lasagna, okay? You don't want big chunks of veggie meat in there. All right, so you see that it's, I like the color, all right? I like the coloration of the vegetables. They're looking nice. So at this point, what I'm gonna do is go ahead and grab my tomato sauce, spaghetti sauce, whatever you wanna call it. And I'll go ahead and pour that in. All right, and just like you would with anything else, you just stir it all in. I'm gonna actually turn down my eye. probably just end up using the rest of this. And like I said, I'm gonna stash it in the freezer if I have leftovers for another meal. Sorry, it's kind of loud. All right, don't forget to turn down your stove, right, your eye while you're doing this. Some people put tomato paste in it. That is your choice. I just don't think it's needed for this because it's pretty thick, okay? You see, it's pretty thick. And it tastes very delicious. All right, so there you have it. We have our meat ready for our lasagna. All right, you guys, so meat's done. Now we're gonna look at this pasta. And of course, if you've never made homemade lasagna, again, it's pretty easy. It's just a lot of different little pieces that you have to make for it. And especially if it's vegan, all right? So my water is boiling now. So I'm gonna have my pasta noodles. And it's important that I put them all in at the same time. Now this is a small pot, y'all don't judge me. This is the biggest pot I have. So I'm gonna have to let it sink down, put them all in. As soon as I can push down the other ends, I will. But this is how we're gonna have to roll because my pot, I've been dealing with the small pot, so I'm good. It doesn't really bother me. I get them all cooked and they're good. Now, what's super important about when you make lasagna, okay? You don't want to overcook your pastas, just like you don't want to overcook your vegetables. But there's another reason. If you overcook your pasta, then your pasta, of course, is going to be mush when you put your lasagna together. So you just want to make sure that you are, you want to make sure that you cook it till it's just right, soft, and you need to, and hopefully I have time to show you, we're going to douse it with cold water when it's pretty much, when it's cooked. As soon as I take this out of this, I'm going to put cold water all over it. Why do you think I do that? Yes. Because I don't want it to continue cooking while it is sitting and draining, okay? Straining, I should say, straining the extra water. All right. And one thing you want to add to your pasta, you don't have to put too much salt in it, but it just helps, you know, make it a little bit more tastier. You want to put some salt in the water and a little bit of oil. You want to have oil in there as well so that it doesn't stick, okay? When you're trying to take it all out. All right, so salt and some oil. All right, and just make sure your pasta stays down. So I'm just gonna let this cook and we'll be back. All right, you guys, so I was periodically just making sure the noodles weren't stuck at the bottom, okay? Some of my pasta noodles broke, but it's okay. My pasta is not too soft, okay? You can go by the box labeling. It says 9 till I think 11 minutes. I went about 10 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and take it off. It looks soft enough where I don't want it to be mushy in the actual lasagna. So, all right, let me go ahead and drain the noodles and then we'll keep going with this. So next, now I actually don't have to do it like this, and that is I need to soften my cashews for the ricotta cheese. You know, ricotta goes in the layers of the lasagna, the vegan lasagna. So you can either soak your cashews for 2 hours in advance, 1 to 2 hours in advance. I just heated up some water, not to boiling, but like almost boiling. And I measured out the amount of cashews I wanted because I'm actually making a very big pan of lasagna. So I have a lot of cashews to let soak. And I'm just gonna let these soak for about 5 minutes, all right? Just to get softened enough for the ricotta cheese. You know, ricotta cheese, the texture is very unique. So pretty much that's what I'm trying to mimic. Okay, so I have my food processor here. It's Cuisine Art. I would say this was a game changer with eating plant-based lifestyle. I wish I would have did it so long ago, but it is what it is. So this is my faithful friend, good old food processor. So what I'm gonna put in here now, I'll put measurements in the description for you guys, but I have my cashews that were warmed. Now I think I might have to do this times 2. because I don't want to go over the fill line, because it leaks if you go over the fill line. I think all food processors do that. And then I also have some nutritional yeast, okay? So I will, again, I'll tell you the measurements, but I'm just gonna dump some in there. And this is definitely seasoned to taste, except for your apple cider vinegar. And I'll put links down if you wanna get yours from Amazon. I'll put some links down there for you. You want to be cautious with apple cider vinegar, okay? Yeah, you don't want to put too much in there of this because it's going to be nasty. All right, so you want to go ahead and pour the amount of apple cider vinegar that I will tell you in the description, okay? All right, let's see, 1, 2, I'll just do 2 for now. Because again, I am so cautious with my apple cider vinegar, and I'm just gonna taste it to make sure it tastes good. And then I have some Himalayan pink salt that I love to put in here. So you don't have to get the kind that you have to do this. You can just get the regular type. Some people do like saltier ricotta cheese, and you can do that as well. All right, so I put my salt in there, and then I'm gonna add some water. Again, it depends on if you want it creamy. I like mine a certain consistency. So I'm doing me right now, but I'll put basic stuff for y'all. And then y'all figure out what y'all like, and y'all do you. So my food processor is ready. And I'm gonna pulsate that. Again, I don't want it too creamy because there's a consistency that I'm looking for in this. And I'll show you what that consistency is in a moment. All right, so let me taste this. I'm gonna have to finish those other ones. Now this is a little bit too grainy, so I'm just gonna taste it to see if I need to season it more. Yes, I do. Let's see if we can get that consistency going for me. All right, you guys, so I just wanted to show you the consistency of what it should look like. You can see, hold on, let me get closer to y'all so you can see. Hopefully you see that. Hopefully my camera is, so it looks like a little bit of, ricotta cheese. And I'm actually gonna make a little bit more because I have some more cashews left and I wanna use them all for this lasagna. So I will meet you when we're putting this lasagna together. All right, you guys, so I have all of the important ingredients to actually finally layer the lasagna. Oh my gosh, this is a little time consuming, but it is what it is. I don't make it that often. I have the meat sauce. I sliced up, remember the cheese I told you? The Maz, sorry if you see that, we'll probably put another image up there. The Maz cheese from Mayokos. So I sliced that cheese up. If you see that clearly, I don't know. You see that? And then you guys know about the ricotta cheese, that vegan cheese that I made out of cashews. And I want to add, I did put some onion powder and some garlic powder in there, okay? Important. I love me some garlic powder and some onion powder. Now, the typical layering of lasagna is like meat sauce, then the pasta, then the ricotta cheese, and the meat sauce, pasta, ricotta cheese, and you layer it up. I do my own thing, okay? I do like to layer it with some of this cheese because it's vegan cheese, because I love it. Again, when somebody says, oh, this vegan cheese is really good, please don't put in your mind that it tastes like real cheese, okay? It just has a good texture. It's creamy, It tastes good. All right, let's start layering. First things first, I have my meat. Now, some key tips here. You don't want your meat sauce runny and very like watery, okay? As I showed you as I was cooking this, the vegan meats are typically dry, all right? Unless you put something in there, they usually are just dry. So I'm just spreading this out. Don't have enough for the thin layers here. And I want to make sure I have enough for the remaining layers, okay? I am making a 4-layer, okay? With lasagna, you can make a 5-layer, 4-layer, 3-layer. If you got 2 layers going on, that's not lasagna. I don't know what you making. That's like pasta with some stuff on it. I don't know. So I'm doing 4 layers. I think I'm doing 4 layers. We'll see how many layers I end up with, but I made enough for at least 4. Okay. So, oh yeah, remember I told you to put oil in your pasta while you're cooking it because, put some of this to the side, because you don't want the noodle, you see how I'm able to pull them apart? You don't want them to stick together and break. All right, you see? So I have the ricotta cheese. I'll give you a kind of a close-up of this in a moment. And I'm just gonna spread that over all the pasta noodles to make a very nice layer. Some people do put spinach in here. By all means, go for it. I would have threw some in there, but I don't have any more spinach, so it's all good. All right, and then finish this up. Nice layer of vegan ricotta cheese. All right, a little more here. All right, so I have my first layer. As you see, I have my meat, my pasta, and the ricotta cheese. So now I'm gonna start layering my other cheese in a moment. So I'm gonna do that again. Put meat sauce, and I'm not gonna bore you. Let's just hurry this through. Like I said, everybody does their lasagna different, layer it differently. You do you. I'm gonna do me, you do you, all right? So after my second layer of meat sauce, I'm gonna take me some cheese, all right? I'm gonna layer it on top of the meat sauce. Oop, man down. So I'm gonna put some of this. You can just see it's not covered, but it's just like a layer of cheese. All right, now I'm gonna take my pasta back out and make my layer right on top of that cheese. Again, make sure your pasta is not too mushy or too that it breaks apart while you're doing this, because it could easily do that. So I have my next layer of pasta. So I'm gonna fast forward. All you're doing is stacking in that pattern, okay? All right, so I'm layering this, right? So I'm getting to my last ultimate layer. I just wanna call this out. So my last layer is gonna be pasta, meat sauce, and then cheese. All right, let's fast forward through this. All right, you guys, so I finished the layers. I can't really show you. You can see in the glass, this is heavy, but it's all good. So you can see the layers of the lasagna. I topped it, the top part, with, remember I did pasta, meat sauce, And then I put all the Maz mozzarella, the vegan cheese. And then I use some Viola mozzarella shreds. And then some plant-based Parmesan. All of that makes it look so pretty. Okay, so I have all my cheeses. Last important thing here, you gotta put your foil over it, okay? So the key thing about this is you're gonna have to create a tent, okay? Just like you would with regular lasagna, okay? A tent, you don't want anything touching the cheese or the meat sauce, okay? Because you don't want everything sticking to the foil, if that makes sense. All right, so I'm just gonna situate my foil here to show you how I make a tent, okay? So pretty much, it is a glass pan, so a little bit more. Just make it kind of big. It's kind of like you're making a little oven inside of the oven. I turn my oven on to 350. 350, and that is already ready to go. It's just waiting for the lasagna. Looks like my pan is ready. It is not touching anything, so it's kind of high. If you see it, it's like up. You're not touching anything. You can just take one side, go under, and lift up the foil. All right, tighten my edges. All right, next clip, I'll see y'all when it is all good and bubbly and ready to eat. All right, you guys, so finally it's done. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all, I worked today and I sat down on the couch after putting it on broil. Got a little crispy on top, but I don't even care. It is done. I am happy. I always sprinkle some parsley on top because I love me some parsley. So as you see, the lasagna is browned on top with little black pieces, but I ain't gonna hurt you a little bit. And just remember, so after you cook it for about 30 to 45 minutes, everything is, again, already cooked. All you're doing is like just having the cheeses melt. And as you see, all the cheeses have melted. And then you wanna put it on broil, but don't be like me and sit on the couch and just tune out, all right? Have it brown a little bit on the top to really melt the cheeses. And then you're gonna have an amazing lasagna to eat with your family. This will last us some good times, so I'm excited about it. Okay, you guys, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe down below so you can have some more amazing money tips and plant-based living tips. I'll see you next time. This is Jen from Epic. Bye. All right, perfect timing for the phone. It's probably the auto warranty because people coming. I'm so tired of people.